What's up, guys? Welcome to the Line Change. We have a very special guest with us. We have Mark from NHL Draft Pros joining us, and we're going to be doing a top 32 NHL mock draft. First off, Mark, welcome to the Line Change. Good to officially meet you. And just to start off, let's just introduce yourself, let everyone know who it is that you are.
Yeah, Mark from NHL Draft Pros. I do scouting reports on a lot of these NHL draft prospects, mock drafts, rankings, all that fun stuff. And I am a writer for McKeen's Hockey that just released their draft guide. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on this time of the year. Busy.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, busy for draft. You know, everyone's talking about the draft. And speaking of the draft, like I said, we're going to do a bit of a mock draft here. I've already selected all 32 teams. We're just going to do the top 32. And let's just go ahead and dive right into it. We'll go standard draft. Obviously, this is brought to us by Draft Prospects Hockey. My good buddy, the prospect Don, who I had on a few days ago, does some great stuff with this mock draft simulator. I'll let you go with the first pick there, Mark.
All right. Yeah, I've had this prospect as my number one prospect all year long, even though there was a little bit of deviation at times for him to go, out of the first overall position. But Toronto Maple Leafs, sorry, Vancouver, for losing that to first overall spot, but you got to go with Gavin McKenna. I mean, the upside is just too high. The magic that he brings. And I've said this before, when, Toronto, they're all about sales too. And so, Gavin McKenna is going to bring people in the seats. They're going to sell jerseys. And not only that though, like I said, he's just got a high ceiling. And if he can turn out to be the player that he's supposed to be, that is a special player in itself. So I would go Gavin McKenna first overall to the Toronto Maple Leafs. But you never know. Come draft day, you never know. It could deviate, but that, in my opinion, that's who I think they should take. And we're going to find out. I'm going to be at the draft actually in 2 weeks, and so excited to see how it goes down when it's live.
Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of people have Gavin McKenna number one on their board, and he's been kind of like the consensus number one for a while. I know there was a bit of time in December when Ivar Stenberg was really hot, and people were saying maybe Ivar might be number one. But then McKenna had that end of his NCAA season where he just tore it up. And yeah, and I believe I saw actually the other day, I believe it was a rankings, Corey Pronman had Chase Reid at first overall, which was bonkers. I'm like, whoa. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take all the content I can get. That'll get people talking. But
absolutely,
for number two, when it comes to the San Jose Sharks, I'm obviously, a Canucks fan, so I'm not a Sharks fan, but I do think they're going to go defenseman here. So I'm going to go Chase Reid, second overall for the San Jose Sharks, because they could use a right shot D. And yeah, that seems to be a lot of what people are saying. They should go defense, even though it's, Stenberg. I do think there's more of a priority for Reid, but it's also a toss-up between the two. I've heard different things, them going Stenberg, them going Reid. So I'm just going to go Reid for that one. And then
I think it could go many ways here. It could go many ways, that second overall. You know what? Yeah, a positional need, they go Chase Reid, right? You get yourself a great left shot D in Sam Dickinson in San Jose, and you load up with Chase Reid on the right. I mean, you're pretty much set right there. But think about someone like Ivar Stenberg sliding into their top six. That would make a lot of fun for San Jose. That would be a stacked top six. So, you know what? This is one of those things where we can only guess, and Chase Reid is probably positional need, and he's also a very good player. Don't get me wrong. It's not like Chase Reid's a slouch, but do you pass up on Ivar Stenberg? Hey, you know what? Listen, we're going to find out in a couple weeks, but it's going to be a lot of fun nevertheless.
Yeah, very, very unpredictable draft coming up in a couple weeks. Especially in the top three. Speaking from a Canucks fan, because we are at third overall with the Canucks in this one, and I referenced, talking to Anthony a few days ago, and honestly, I've been stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to this third overall pick. Do you go Caleb Malhotra or do you go Stenberg? I keep going back and forth. It's one or the other. There's days I'll be like, oh yeah, Stenberg, if he drops a 3, absolutely, you can't pass on him. But then you have Malhotra, and you see what he did in the playoffs. You see his rise. And you're like, you don't want to pass up on a guy like that just because his father's the coach.
Yeah. See, so I don't think that Manny being the coach, yeah, I don't think it's a hindrance. They're professionals, right? You know what I mean? And I don't think
Yeah.
he's gonna have some favoritism towards his son. And his son outright is a really good player. So let's just clear that right off the hop. But do you pass up on someone like Ivar Stenberg? This is a tough place for Vancouver. The brass. So what do you do? Do you? I mean, realistically, they probably should go Caleb Malhotra. You don't want to kind of ruffle any feathers with Manny being the coach. So, and like I said, granted, Caleb is a great player and outright. So, what do you think? Like, let me ask you, like, what are Vancouver fans? You being a Vancouver show, what's the consensus with them? What do they think? What's their take on this situation?
It's a bit of a toss up, just like with me personally, it's a toss up. Some people are pro Stenberg, some people are pro Malhotra. Obviously, a lot of the mock drafts from the prospect guys have Malhotra at 3. You got guys like Craig Button saying they should take Malhotra, but yeah, the consensus from the fan base is very. There's a divide. There's a split between like what the Canucks should do, and at the end of the day, it's going to be Ryan Johnson and the Henrik and Daniel who are going to make the decision. And we've already heard from Ryan Johnson say that Manny being the coach is not going to influence their decision. Seems like Caleb has been on their radar for quite some time now, like dating back to when Alvin and Rutherford were still, running the show. They seem to be set on Malhotra. So it's a toss-up, just like with number 2 with Chase Reid and Ivar Stenberg. It's going to be a toss-up, but either way, regardless of who they end up picking, the Canucks are going to get a pretty darn good player at that position, regardless. And honestly, if it were up to me, if we could get both of them, I would be like, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Which actually, I don't know. Did you see Jeff Merrick's like blockbuster trade proposal for the Canucks about somehow I forget the exact part of it, but I know involving Vancouver, it would have had them getting the 4th overall pick, and they would keep their 3rd overall pick. So they pick back to back. So maybe there's a chance there they get Stenberg and Malhotra if they can somehow finagle that. And it actually, I think it ended with, I think it was Chicago getting Jason Robertson. That was like it was a 3-team trade. Dallas, I think Chicago, and Vancouver, I believe. I'd have to look that up again. But yeah, basically Vancouver would have gotten the 4th overall pick. They could easily get Stenberg and Malhotra, make my fantasy come true. But honestly, yeah, if I could, I'd get both players, but we got to pick one. I think the whole positional need thing, yes, you go best player available most of the time, but Canucks really need help at center. And yes, next year's draft class is stacked for centers, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. But you can also never have enough centers. You got Braden Coots in the pipeline right now. And then if you add a guy like Malhotra, you can also go out and get a centerman next year. And you never know. He has that, from what I've heard, I've watched a lot of his highlights, but I'm not as in tune into the prospects. But from what I've heard, he's got that 1C upside. And, when it comes to the whole Manny Caleb thing, that part, just like you said, doesn't really bother me at all. I don't think it's going to affect anything. Plus, Caleb is going to be in college for the next 2 years. So there's a 2-way window. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So just for the sake of this one, I'm just going to go Caleb. Just go with my gut. Go with Caleb. Who do you pick for the Blackhawks at number 4?
Easy. Ivar Stenberg and Chicago Blackhawks would be ecstatic to land Ivar Stenberg at 4th overall. And then you just bolstered their top 6 as well. Oh, and not to mention you got Frondell there already. So you're just adding to that pipeline. And yeah, you know what? Ivar Stenberg, like, he's just such a good player. And, you got to remember, he did this against men. And he looked really good at the World Championships. So, I mean, yeah, the top 4, you can't go wrong either way with all these 4 picks. So, yeah, if Chicago gets Ivar Stenberg at 4th overall, congrats. Lucky them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know one of my buddies who's a Blackhawks fan, for shout out to Windy City Hockey. I know he would be happy. I know the prospect Don, who I
Oh,
believe is a
absolutely.
Blackhawks fan as well, he even said it. He thinks Stenberg could fall to 4 to
Yeah.
the Blackhawks, and that would really help out, especially with get a guy playing with Bedard. That's one thing that Chicago has really been lacking. I feel they've been missing a guy to play with Bedard,
Yeah.
and I think Stenberg would be that guy. And perhaps we could see him emerge, kind of like how Macklin Celebrini has this past season. We haven't really seen that from Connor yet. So perhaps getting Stenberg will, kind of, unleash Connor Bedard, and maybe we actually will see the Connor Bedard that we saw, in his draft year and whatnot. So.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, easy pick. Done.
Mm-hmm. All right. So with number 5, sorry, the way I can't actually see which team. I believe it's
the Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah.
I think I might go off board with this. Again, I don't pay too much attention to the Rangers.
Yeah.
But I do feel as though I am really high on this player, and I think anyone who gets him, it's going to be a steal. So yeah, I'm going to go off the board, and I'm going to say Viggo Bjorck to the Rangers.
Oh, okay. I like
5.
it. Yeah, I mean, listen, Viggo Bjorck, another player who played against men and looked really well. And you know what? And at the World Juniors, playing amongst his peers, he looked even better. And so, yeah, when Viggo Bjorck, like this is a player. I just did a comp show, and I said that he kind of reminds me of Stankoven or like Zach Benson, because they're kind of smaller, but they just motor. Their motor is so good, and they're smart with the puck. And so, you can't go wrong with that. And like I said, when you play against men for a good amount of time, then obviously if they can kind of, hold up against those kind of players, then that the next step is not going to be so difficult, right? With junior players, you kind of, how do they do when they play against older players, against men? But Viggo Bjork's already done it, and he looked great. And yeah, I love everything about Viggo Bjorck. Listen, I don't care if he's 5'9". He is a machine on the ice, and he just does everything exceptionally well.
Absolutely. All right, at number 6, we have Calgary. Who are you going with Calgary for at 6 overall?
Cool. Well, Calgary, they got Zane Parekh on the right, patrolling the ice, right? So they probably could use a really high-end centerman or a left shot D. Now, you got a couple of options here. You got Albert Schmitz and you got Carson Karls. And I personally would go Carson Karls here. That would be a great fit. He is a great skating, had 78 points this year in the WHL. And yeah, he's a menace on the ice. Like he absolutely just hammers guys when he takes the body. So I would say Carson Karls would probably be a really good fit. Now, you could probably go Albert Schmitz here too. But personally, you take the kid from the dub, you go Albert Schmitz, you go Carson Karls all day long.
Absolutely. All right, number 7, we got the Seattle Kraken. A lot of these non-Canucks ones, I might wing it a little bit just because. Yep. But I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Keaton Vierhoff for the Kraken.
I like that a lot. Yeah, Keaton Vierhoff. I mean, come on. Now didn't stand out in the NCAA playing for North Dakota, but last year when he played for Victoria, he had scored 20 goals as a 16-year-old. Like, I mean, that's kind of unheard of for a defenseman, right? A right shot D too. And I had the pleasure of watching him live this year playing for North Dakota, and he is a good player. He might take a little bit longer to kind of break in, but defense typically take longer in general. I mean, there's only a handful of defensemen that step into the NHL, like, the Matthew Schaefers, like those don't happen often. But if you can wait for Keaton Vierhoff and you can develop him properly, this could be an absolute steal for the Seattle Kraken. And I love Keaton. I'm a big fan of Keaton Vierhoff, and I've said this plenty this year.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 8, we have the Winnipeg Jets. Who are you taking if you're the Jets at number 8?
So, the Jets, they could probably go with someone, if they want to go with someone who kind of steps in sooner than later, you go Albert Schmitz, right? This kid is pretty much NHL ready. Like, he played at the Olympics for Latvia. He played at the World Championships for Latvia, and he did not look out of place. So he could probably step in right away. However, there is Daxton Rudolph. So if you want, a kid from the dub, but personally, I would say Albert Schmitz, because he's coming in sooner than later. This kid is NHL ready. He could step in probably next year and, wouldn't look out of place. Or you could give him another year of development. But man, yeah, Albert Smith. I mean, there's another player who's got a lot of jam in his game and great skater for his size. Played in the Liga in Finland, and yeah, he didn't look out of place. So yeah, I personally, I'd go Albert Smith here. That's what I would take.
All right, and then we got the Florida Panthers at number 9. I know I've seen a lot of other mock drafts have Ethan Belchitz at number 9.
Yep.
I'm gonna actually again go off the board and just wing it here. Just because I really like this player, I'm gonna go Ryan Lynn at number 9.
Oh, that's an early one for Ryan Lynn there. I like the fire here.
Mm.
Yeah, Ryan Lynn. I mean, probably the best overall defenseman, like just absolutely great details to his game. I mean, he's only listed at 5'11". That's probably the only downside for Ryan Lynn. But in terms of like, he's a tactician of the game. Like he sees the ice so well. He reads plays really well. Always, positionally, he's great. You can't go. And I mean, I put over a point a game in the dub. So, that's a great player right there for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Nashville at number 10. Who do you think Nashville would go with number 10? And who do you think they could use?
Well, I mean, Nashville has another team that could probably use a little bit of everything. You could go defenseman here. Personally, for me, I'd go with White Cullen or Tynan Lawrence. But let's go White Cullen. I like White Cullen a lot. I mean, Ethan Belchez actually would. You know what? Now you got me thinking here. Ethan Belchez is kind of like their prototypical Nashville, like the bigger players. They've drafted big in the last couple of drafts. But no, let's go White Cullen. I like White Cullen. I think he just, the way he finished the season, he looked great at the U18s. He's another player that I've seen live. I scout the NTDP a lot, so I've seen him a lot this year and last year actually for the U17s. And I think that this could be a really good player. Given some time, we got to remember this kid grew, like he was 5'4" when he was at the U17s. So a couple years ago, and now he's 6'1", and he's got the hands and he's got the confidence. When he's got the puck on his stick, he will attack you one-on-one and make things happen. So yeah, let's go White Cullen. Let's shake it up a little bit here.
Mm. All right, St. Louis Blues have the 11th pick. Obviously, this is their first of 2 here in the first round. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what their second one. I believe it's a couple more. Oh,
they got 3. They got 3 picks. They got 3 picks in the first round. Yeah.
Oh well. So with the St. Louis, again, I'm just gonna wing it again with this one. You mentioned Belchitz. I think I'm gonna go Belchitz with the Blues for this one at number 11.
Can't go wrong with that. Ethan Belchez, he's in my neck of the woods. I know that actually I know his billet family. Really good kid, 6'5", 230 pounds, just from the combine there. Soft hands for a big player. He's not a prototypical power forward per se. But he's got great touch in front of the net, great shot. He's a really good skater for his size, actually. And you know what? Once he kind of gets a little bit more acceleration, a little more explosiveness in his skating, like this could be a menace. He's a good player. I love Ethan Belchez, and super nice kid too.
All right, number 12, New Jersey Devils. Who are you going with for the Devils?
Yeah, so this one. So now we get into a point where New Jersey. I mean, that's a pretty good young team overall. I would have said Ethan Belchez would have been a good pick for them. You got Daxon Rudolph left on the board. You got Tynan Lawrence left on the board. This is a tough one. I mean, I'd probably go Tynan Lawrence. But I mean, Daxon Rudolph's kind of slipping here, and he's potentially a top 10 pick, and whoever gets him next. Yeah, so you got New Jersey. So if New Jersey goes Tynan Lawrence, then the Islanders' next pick, they'll probably go Daxon Rudolph, because obviously we got Matthew Schaefer on the left side. You got Daxon Rudolph on the right side. Oh, what a combo. You want to do that? You want to do let's do Tynan Lawrence to New Jersey, and then to the Islanders we go Daxon Rudolph. Woo!
I like that.
The Islanders would be happy with that. Let me tell you something. Yeah. You know what? Listen, and Tynan Lawrence, he doesn't get the praise. I mean, he's a really good overall player. He's got a good motor. He's a great skater. He doesn't have that offensive upside like some of the other players do above him. But I think that this is a player who just plays a really good 200-foot game. And I think that with a little bit more time and development, I think that, and he was hampered with injuries this year. I actually talked to him personally when they were playing against the NTDP at the end of the season. And, his foot was just bothering him on and off the whole season. So, but near the end of the season playing at the NCAA level, he looked really good. He started to kind of figure it out. And so next year, I think he's going to have himself a really good season. I think that a lot of teams are going to regret passing on him.
Mm-hmm, sure. And correct me if I'm wrong, he's actually going to be teammates with Caleb next year in the NCAA, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. They'll
Absolutely.
be battling for that, I guess, what is it, 1C spot in the NCAA.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see those two battling it out.
Absolutely.
Obviously, depending on where he ends up landing, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So we got number 14 with the Columbus Blue Jackets. You still got Command on the board, still got Gustafson. You see Liam Ruck there. Obviously, we're using Stephen Ellis's rankings, so that's why Liam is so high on this. You got Oscar Hemming still on the board. Who do you think Columbus is going with?
You know what? Oscar Hemming would probably be a nice fit for them, or maybe even Oliver Savanto. But yeah, I mean, Oscar Hemming, big kid, looked good in college hockey, playing for Miami of Ohio. So I mean, yeah. I mean, if you know what, to be honest with you, I'd probably go Oscar Hemming here. Malte Gustafson, maybe not. I'd say probably Oscar Hemming would be my go-to here.
All right, and then we get the Blues back at number 15. When it comes to the Blue Jackets,
so who do we take? Who do we take first for St. Louis?
I believe it was it Belch? Yeah, it was Belchez. We took
Belchez. Okay, so maybe let's go with a D here. Malte Gustafson.
All right.
Listen, Malte Gustafson is a little bit underrated. Where's he slotted in this mock here? Right there. You know what? Listen,
ranked 15th. Yeah.
Yeah, Malte Gustafson. This is a big, great skating defenseman. Now he doesn't got the offensive chops as some of the other D, but in terms of like his skating and whatnot, how do you pass up on someone like him? I mean, obviously there's a couple of other players that are kind of in and around this area here. I mean, you could go Oliver Savanto. That might be a good pick here too. Personally, I'd probably, or even, Alexander Command, but let's go Malte Gustafson. They got Belchez and Gustafson. I mean, those are two big kids. Malte Gustafson's listed at what, 6'5", 6'4", or something like that. So that'd be a pretty sweet haul for St. Louis if they went back to back like that.
Oh, yeah. And then we got Washington at 16. And I actually was talking to Anthony about this one.
Yeah.
This might be a little early for most boards, but I'm actually going to go Klepov here. Just because I think he would be really good with Washington, just because, we don't know when Ovechkin's going to be retiring. And I think that could be a good point for him to learn. And I'm sure Ovi, when he officially, calls it quits, he's probably going to be within the organization and like maybe a coaching role, some sort of coaching thing. And I just think that would be really great for Klepov's development for sure.
Yeah. I like it. You want Klepov? Go for it. Let's get crazy.
Yeah. So we have the Kings at number 17. Still have Command on the board. Still have Ruck. Still have Novotny there as well. JP Hurlbert is still on the board.
I'd probably, to be honest with you, I'd probably go with someone like Oliver Savanto. I really like Savanto. I like his game. I mean, Command would be another one that you might be able to do Command here as well. You can't go wrong with either one of those. So, hey, listen, let's ask the LA Kings fans if there's anyone watching, who do you guys think they would go here? But who was the highest rated? Command?
I believe it was Command. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think I'd probably go Command.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think this would be a good spot for him. I don't see him falling too far. Like I see him staying, within, between 10 and 20. I don't really see him falling past 20th overall. So Yeah, I say we go command here.
Sounds good.
And then
Let's do
plus, they get a centerman. I know they just lost, Kopitar, and I know command's probably going to take a little bit, but it doesn't like I said with the Canucks, doesn't hurt to add to your center depth, and I think command would be pretty good for LA.
That's a nice pickup.
Yeah. And then we're back to Washington at number 18.
What do we got as the this one? This gets a little tough here. So Washington. So they picked up Klepov, the first pick. I don't know if you can let Oliver Savanto slide any more than this. And if you can get Klepov and Savanto, because defenseman wise, I mean, they could go with someone like Villeneuve or Tommy Blyle. If you want to go D here, if they go forward, then D. But yeah, this is a tough one. Let's go. Let's go Oliver Savanto. Let's do that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm kind of leaning towards Savanto for that one.
Yep.
So next up we have the Utah Mammoth with the 19th overall pick.
They like going bigger.
So we're kind of getting closer to the 20s here.
Yeah. So so here you can go. So this is a player where you might go Elton Hermanson or even Adam Novotny would be two possibilities here. I mean, Adam Novotny would be a nice pickup by Utah. And I mean, you know what? Big kid, and that's kind of like their player. Hermanson's more of a finesse type player. So what are you thinking?
I'm kind of leaning towards Novotny.
Yeah.
Although I'm kind of it's a toss up. It's a toss up between Hermanson and Novotny for me.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go Novotny.
I can't go wrong with Novotny.
Yeah, just go with my gut there.
Yep.
Okay, now we got the Sharks at number 20.
Yes.
So, and like you said, I think it gets a little even more trickier now here at pick number 20. Because you had the Sharks go with...
They went with Reid.
Reid earlier.
Yeah, so now we could go... do we go defenseman again? Because like they're pretty stacked forward wise. And then I mean, who's left? I mean, Alexander. You know what? Not Alexander Command, but Elton Hermanson might be a nice pickup here. Because you went right shot D.
Yeah.
Was that you like Hermanson here?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think
that's a skilled player right there.
Yeah. We'll go with Hermanson for that one. Okay, now we got the Flyers at 21.
Oh, yeah. That's my team.
Yeah, I heard recently something about a 6'7" guy that the Flyers might be interested in. I can't pronounce his name.
The defenseman?
Yeah, I think he's a defenseman.
Sokolovsky?
Yeah, I've heard a lot about him.
Are you talking about Gleb Pugachev?
I think it's... the first one, Sokolovsky is
Sokolovsky, yeah. So yeah, he plays in London. Yeah, he's a big D, a mean D. He's a prototypical Philadelphia Flyer. So I mean, if you want to go Sokolovsky, I mean that definitely would be something. I mean, see, I don't think Philly's going to take anyone that's kind of on the smaller side in terms of defensemen like Villeneuve or Blyle. Yeah, I like Jack Hextall potentially with this pick. I mean, if you want to go skill, you go Liam Ruck, JP Hurlburt. There's a few options for the Flyers here. But you like Sokolovsky here?
Yeah, I just like the idea of a big, rough and tough. Like you said, it seems like he's built for the Flyers. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Flyers actually went for him. So we'll go with Sokolovsky.
SOKO. Yep.
All right. There we go. Maxime.
Boom. All right.
Now we got the Penguins at 22. This is a bit of a tough one. I think
they go with one of the skilled D. I think they go with either Xavier Villeneuve or Tommy Blyle. That's what I think. I think they go like super skilled. Last year they got a steal in Kindle, and I think that this year they go with one of those two. I love Xavier Villeneuve. but I also like Tommy Blyle a lot too. They're both dynamic defensemen. This is a tough one. I you know what? I'd probably go Tommy Blyle, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was about to say that, just glancing at it.
Yeah.
Going with
And he's a right shot D. So the NHL, they love their right shot D.
And we got the Bruins at number 23. I'll let you do this one. Being a Canucks fan, obviously I'm not a big Bruins guy, but so yeah, I'll let you take this one.
I would probably personally, I like Jack Hextall. I think that Jack Hextall is an underrated player, and he is something like, man, it's tough. I mean, they went kind of skilled last year with their picks, but I think this year, I mean, Jack Hextall, I really like his game. Am I missing someone? What's on the list there? Who do we got in terms of ranking wise? Who's left here?
We got Liam Ruck, JP Hurlbert, Mathis Preston, Morozov, Marcus Ruck.
Oh, Ilya Morozov's still around, eh? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Okay. He's a big player. Oh boy, this is a tough one. Who's higher ranked, Jack Hextall or Morozov?
I believe it's Morozov.
Let's put him in there. Big kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've been kind of looking into Morozov a little bit just because people have kind of connected him to Vancouver just because he's in that 23, 20 to 24 range.
We just stole your thunder then, eh? We just because sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I was actually kind of like pondering him, but 24 with the Canucks. I mean, I'm a bit of a sucker for a little bit of twin magic, so I'm gonna go Liam Ruck.
Nice.
24. And we got the Kraken at 25. Not gonna lie, I kind of like Hurlbert in this spot.
I was gonna say that too, actually. Yeah.
I've been doing a little digging into him too recently, just because he's another one who the Canucks could potentially target with that 24th overall pick. And reading up on him, like I believe it was literally last night, his shot is something else.
Ridiculous.
So, yeah, definitely go. I would go Hurlbert here. And we got the Rangers at 26. Now we went Viggo Bjorck at 5.
Yeah. So this one here. What could we do here? So I mean, we could go add another like dynamic forward, like Mathis Preston.
Yeah.
Or we could go defenseman like Xavier Villeneuve. What would the Rangers do? What do you think? What's your take on this one?
I think
we got Bjork. We went Bjork first, right?
Might go defense. I think they might go defense here, just because they got Bjork earlier. I think they would go. Plus, with Villeneuve being still on the board, I don't know how you could pass on.
Let's do it. Give him the magic of Xavier Villeneuve. Yes.
Yeah. And then we got the Sabres at 27. This one, right off the bat, I'm kind of already thinking Mathis Preston, but let me know what you think.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I was going to say the exact same thing. I said we can't let Mathis Preston slide anymore.
Yeah, so we'll go Preston with the Sabres. I think the Sabres are getting a really good player there.
Absolutely.
I tuned in a little bit on Preston just because he plays for the Giants.
Yep.
And I used to be a season ticket holder for the Giants before they moved out to Langley. So I have a little bit of a soft spot for Vancouver Giant players. So, but we got Montreal at 28. You got Marcus Dagenet on the board.
Let's go Mathis Dagenet, the Frenchman. Yeah, and he's a big player. First overall in the queue a couple years ago, and he started to turn it on near the end of the season. And he's he's from Quebec. I mean, you can't go wrong with that, right?
Mm-hmm. And then you got St. Louis at 29. You got Marcus Ruxo on the board, Shilov, Ryan Rubrick, Jack Hextall is still on the board too.
Yeah, who do we pick for them the last two picks? Because they had 3 picks, right?
Yeah, I believe the first one was Belchitz at 11, and then we went Malt Gustafson with number 15.
Okay, so we went forward D. So now we can maybe go forward, or I mean, William Hawkinson is one that's really good. Jack Hextall is a nice pick as a forward. Brooks Rogowski, who's a 6'7" monster in himself. He's another player that might be a good pick here. Oh man, lots of options here.
Yeah.
This is a St. Louis, eh? So we went forward D.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think here. What do we do?
I'll admit, I do kind of like the idea of Rogowski here, just based on the size that we have with Gustafsson and Belchitz.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know what? Oh, that like the Tower of Power is right there. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do Brooks Rogowski.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. 6'6", I think. Is he 6'6" or 6'7"? I think 6'7". Absolute.
Yeah. And then you get another forward there too.
Woo. That's a nice
Yeah,
pickup.
those
right
are going to be giants.
Yeah.
We got the Calgary Flames at 30.
Yep.
So, of course, you still got Marcus on the board there. You got Shilov, who is ranked 25th. Jack Hextall is still there.
Oh,
not gonna lie, I kind of think Hextall would be good. Hextall would be good with.
We went defenseman with Calgary the first pick, right? Carson Karls.
Yeah, we went Carson Karls with that.
Go Jack Hextall. Yeah.
Oh
man, that would be a great pickup for them. Oh, that's a nice haul right there.
And then we got the Carolina Hurricanes, the potential. Actually, no, I'm not even going to say it. I don't want to jinx it. But go Canes for tomorrow. Yeah. Go Canes. Who do you think they pick with the 31st overall pick?
Who do we got left in the mix here? We got Ruck, Shilov. Who else we got?
We got Rubrick, Sherbakov. Piparinen's still there.
Piparinen, yeah, might be a good pick right there. Yeah, you know what? Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Juho Piparinen. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Actually, William Hawkinson.
The Ottawa Senators.
Ooh. Ottawa last pick, right? Ottawa Senators. Yeah. So here I say they go William Hawkinson, the defenseman. Really good. I mean, they could go Marcus Ruck or Shilov and stuff like that, but I like William Hawkinson. This is an underrated kid. I think that he could really good skating, big defenseman. That's it. Draft complete. Look at that. Oh yeah.
Gavin McKenna to the Leafs, Chase Reid to the San Jose Sharks, Caleb Malhotra to the Canucks, Ivar Stenberg to the Blackhawks, Viggo Bjorck to the Rangers, Carson Karels to the Flames, Bierhoff to the Kraken, Albert Smits to the Jets, Ryan Lynn to the Panthers. That one is probably going to be one of the most off the board ones, but
yeah, that's a little early. Yeah. Well, hey, that's okay.
Wyatt Cullen at 10. Yeah. Wyatt Cullen at 10. Ethan Belchitz at 11. I think St. Louis is really going to like that one if they go Belchitz.
Oh yeah,
especially if they go in the order that we picked. All those they're going to like a lot of that meat on that team.
That's a big haul for them. This draft. Holy yeah.
Tynan Lawrence at 12. Daxton Rudolph. We talked about Daxton Rudolph and Matthew Schaefer. I think I kind of want that to happen now that we've done this. I kind of actually want that to happen.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oscar Hemming at 14 to I almost said St. Louis, Columbus.
Yeah.
Malt Gustafsson to St. Louis, Klepov to Washington. You could have maybe even gone command to Washington as well. But they go with LA Kings, Suvanto to the Capitals, Novotny to Utah, Hermanson to the Sharks, Sokolovsky to the Flyers, Blyle, to the Penguins, Morozov to the Bruins. Actually, I think that would be pretty good. Morozov to the Bruins.
Yeah.
Now that I actually look at it. I went Liam Rupp to the Canucks just because of that twin magic and a imaginary 33rd pick. I would probably go Marcus there. JP Hurlbert to Seattle, Villeneuve to the Rangers. I actually really do like that. Villeneuve to the Rangers.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Preston to the Sabres, Desjardins to the Canadiens, Rogowski to St. Louis, Hextall to the Flames, and then Piparinen to Carolina, and then Hackinson at 32. And there you go.
Bad. That's pretty fun, actually. I like that one. It's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Before you go, I just wanted, and we did just do the top 32. For people who are maybe kind of looking into the draft, do you have any options that the Canucks could look at maybe in the second round? some more unknown names, maybe.
Well, I mean, if the way our mock went, if they take Liam Ruck and at 33, how do you pass up on Marcus Ruck, the twin magic again? I mean, that would just be a lot of those two. When you see the highlights of those two, I mean, it is just uber fun. In terms of, who they could pick up, I talked about Gleb Pugachev. That's a big kid, very, physical, I guess you could say. Casey Mutrin is another player that's pretty decent. There's a few players, I mean, but if you can get the Ruck twins, all day long.
Yeah, imagine that, Malhotra and the Ruck twins. There's a line right there.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Just a couple more questions before you got to go.
Yep.
How do you think, and just about the draft class in general, how do you think this year's draft class compares to maybe previous draft classes?
Well, so it's funny because like at the beginning of the season, there was a lot of hype for this draft class, the 2026 class, and actually I said early on, I thought that the 2025 draft class was a little bit better, and I still stick by that. If you look at like the amount of players that from the 2025 draft that actually played in the NHL this year, it is a lot, and they are succeeding really well. Even like the top players like Schaefer, Misa, Frondell, Ben Kindle, like a whole bunch of them are playing and they're doing well. So personally, I think that, it's got some, it's pretty deep, like in terms of like, when you get into the later, second and third round, there's still some pretty good prospects as opposed to like, say, previous drafts where it was top heavy. The first 20 picks were really deep. So yeah, and this draft, lots of D. If you're looking for D, this is a draft. Not too many centers, which a lot of NHL teams, they prefer looking for centermen. Not as many in this draft, like high-end centermen, that is. But a lot of D. So, yeah, really, if you're looking for D, this is the draft.
And if you're looking for centermen, there's
2027.
Yeah.
2027, yeah.
Do you think there might be some major shakeups on draft days, or maybe teams going off the board, kind of like what I did a couple times? Do you also see any teams trading up or down on draft day?
Yeah, there's always going to be a few teams that are going to move come draft day, and that's the exciting part. Every year we kind of we guess, and every year it changes. And I mean, if you look at the last couple of drafts, like with Seneca going 3rd overall, and a couple years before that was Nemitz went 2nd overall. Actually, Slavkovsky went 1st overall, and then Nemitz went 2nd overall. Everyone was, whoa, you know what I mean? So things happen. And we can say, well, McKenna's going to go 1st overall. He might not go 1st overall. Like, if they go with Stenberg, and we wouldn't be shocked, right? You never know. This draft is going to be wide open. And I tell you, it's going to be, if McKenna goes 1st, 2nd overall could be anything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited to be there live. And I can't wait to see how it goes down. And then the trade. There's always trades. Typically, the top 2-3 picks don't get traded, but after that, it's wide open. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. You hit the nail. I mean, I talked about Corey Pronman earlier, and having Chase Reid up on his 1st overall. He was the one who said Slavkovsky's going number 1, and it happened. So it's like might want to take what this guy says. I actually believe him a little bit. He might be onto something. But yeah, that was all the questions I had. This has been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun, Mark. Doing a mock draft with you. Obviously, looking forward to when the draft actually happens. I'm probably just as excited as you are. I mentioned previously, I probably did a few draft videos last year. I've already eclipsed that this year. I think I'm like 30 plus now. I'm just draft. Because that's what everyone's talking about, especially, being a Canucks fan. Top 3 pick for the first time since 99. So everyone's excited here in Vancouver, getting a very good caliber player, regardless if it's Stenberg or Malhotra, you're still going to get something good.
Absolutely.
Especially also us having 10 picks, something we haven't had in a very long time. So that's, I think, what is causing a lot of the excitement here in Vancouver. Us just picking people, and just a bit of a new era with, Daniel and Henrik, and then Ryan Johnson coming in too. Things might be hopefully turning in the right direction for the Canuck fan base here finally, after years of misery. But like I said, this was a lot of fun. I absolutely enjoyed this. And if you guys enjoyed this video, on your way, you can like the video. You can subscribe to The Line Change. You can also subscribe to NHL Draft Pros over on YouTube. I will have their link in the description down below. And once again, Mark, this has been fantastic. Glad we got to do this, and hopefully we get to do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you once again, and I'll let you sign off. I have an important message from our friends over at DraftKings. It all comes down to this: a best of 7 battle, and DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets. Sweat every shift of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code THPN, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code THPN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, that text pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
There we go. All right. Once again, thank you guys for watching. That was Mark. I'm Tyler, and looking forward to this year's NHL draft. Less than 2 weeks away.
Fun.
About to get crazy. Thanks again, Mark. We'll catch you guys next time.